Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope all of you are safe and doing well. It's pandemic time in India, and we're all at home, but I hope that all of you are safe. And today, I have got some Chelsea women action for you because this is a team who are on the cusp of greatness. They have been exceptional this season. Some of the performances they've put in have been absolutely world class. The players, players like Kirby, Kerr, we'll get into all of that, but they have been really, really good this season. And there's a chance that this team can end up emulating the Arsenal women from 2007, 2008 by winning all trophies that are available to them. So we will be delving into that. But just before I start with the video, if you guys are new to the channel, do click the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any videos. Also, if you do hit the subscribe button, it really helps the channel grow, and it helps people engage with my videos. So I would really appreciate it if you could take your time and click the subscribe button, and please do enjoy the video. Right, so getting into what Chelsea women have in store right now. So they've already won the Conti Cup, and the WSL for me is also mostly wrapped up because they are 2 points ahead of Manchester City at the top of the table, and they have just two more games to go. So I think Chelsea should be fine with the WSL unless there is some catastrophic downfall which allows Man City to win. But I don't think that'll happen. So Chelsea should be perfectly fine when it comes to winning the WSL. So that's two trophies out of the way already. And if you talk about the FA Cup, I don't see a reason why Chelsea shouldn't be considered favourites for the FA Cup as well, because I think that they play against all the teams that are in the same domestic leagues or the leagues below them, and Chelsea are literally the best team in the land. So I don't see why Chelsea cannot win the FA Cup as well, and then the Community Shield, obviously. So most of the trophies should be within their reach and very easily. They should win it comfortably. But the holy grail that everyone wants to win, that is away from Chelsea right now, that has been escaping them for a few years now, is the Champions League. And I think this is probably the season where they could have won it. Like they had the best shot at it, and they still do, because Lyon women, the holders, are out of the competition. They're out of the equation completely, and the other three teams that are involved, so Bayern Munich, PSG, as well as Barcelona. I know they're teams who are in very hot form right now, but Chelsea women are equally as good, and they have every chance of winning the Champions League as well. So we're going to delve into that, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Bayern game. I was hoping Chelsea women would make this video a little bit easier for me by winning the first leg, but we will analyze how the first leg went and what went wrong for Chelsea, because there was a weakness in there, right? But they can definitely turn it around in the second leg. This video will be out, I think, just before the second leg, so they can definitely turn it around in the second leg. And if they do make it to the final, I would personally like to back them to win the whole competition, right? So just before we delve into the Bayern game, I'm going to talk about Emma Hayes' system and how Chelsea play. So I'm going to take you to a few statistics here, and I've highlighted a couple of games here. You can see the West Ham game that was played on 6th December last year, and as well as the Bayern Munich game, which was the most recent game that Chelsea women played. And if you look at all the formations that Chelsea have used in between these two games, right, you'll see a majority of 4-4-2s, 4-4-2 or 4-4-2 diamond, pretty similar, or a 4-2-3-1, right? These are the two formations that Emma Hayes really likes using, in this Chelsea team. So I'm just going to take you to the tactical board and show you how these two formations work, because I think it's very interesting how Chelsea also keep changing between these formations when they're playing in a game. So like they're like adapting to the formation of the other team by changing their own system here and there whenever needed. So in front of you, there's a 4-2-3-1 system right now. So as you can see, this does not have Magdalena Eriksson, and that is a huge point. We'll come to that in a bit. But as you can see, Sophie Ingle is a makeshift centre back here. Melanie Lopez and Ji So-yeon are playing in a sort of a double pivot. So it's one where you're expected to be a little bit more defensive than you would be as a midfielder. So a double pivot system, and then you have Pernilla Harder as the cam, Cuthbert or Guru Wrighton, any one of them can play in that left wing position, and Fran Kirby on the right, Sam Kerr as the out and out striker. So it makes for a very good 4-2-3-1 system, right? And similarly, when Chelsea can shift this into a 4-4-2 diamond. So that happens when Ji So-yun goes a little bit higher up the pitch. Melanie Lopez becomes the only CDM in the system, so the defensive tip of the diamond. And Cuthbert or Wrighton, whoever's playing, can shift into the other number 8 role, right? Hard is obviously still the cam. Sam Kerr and Fran Kirby then become two forward players, not essentially strikers, maybe shadow striker or something like that. But as you can see, it forms a diamond, right? Over here, Harder, G, Lopez, and Cuthbert or Wrighton, whoever's playing. It forms sort of a diamond in midfield, and this is the other formation that Chelsea really like playing. So these are the two systems that Emma Hayes adapts to, which brings us then to the Bayern game and what went wrong for Chelsea. Personally, in my opinion, I feel like Emma Hayes got it a little bit wrong with her tactics because she went with the 4-2-3-1. There wasn't much rotation, if I remember, in the Bayern game, but she started off with the 4-2-3-1 system when I think maybe Chelsea would have been better off with a 4-4-2 diamond, right? Because what happened is, now I'm going to display the Wolfsburg formation. So they played Wolfsburg in the quarterfinals, and I'm going to display the Bayern Munich formation on the screen. And you can see the very, very, very clear difference between both sides, right? Bayern Munich played a 5 at the back and they had an extra defender. Now, what that helps them do is keep check on Fran Kirby, Sam Kerr, and Pernilla Harder. Sometimes I feel like because Pernilla Harder is a little bit deeper than Kerr and Kirby, she's able to find space, to use her technical abilities on the ball. But when you have a 5 at the back, and obviously your midfielders as well coming back to help, you can easily choke that space, for the likes of Kerr, Kirby, and Harder. So you subdue their skills, and when you subdue the way they play, it becomes very difficult for Chelsea to attack well, right? So I think that's what Bayern did so well, and that's what Wolfsburg were not able to do in their game, which is why Chelsea cruised through that tie. But I think Bayern Munich really found the tactical approach that was necessary in order to beat Chelsea. So in a way, they outclassed Chelsea tactically. And I mean, Emma Hayes, Chelsea have a full week before the Bayern game, about 3 days at the time of recording of this video. The Emma Hayes has to come up with some sort of a solution to, kind of breach that 5 at the back defense. And I'm sure she'll come up with something because, I see this on Twitter all the time. Emma Hayes always has a plan. So I'm pretty sure she'll come up with something to beat the Bayern Munich side. But that's the basic system. That's how Bayern Munich did beat Chelsea. But I would also like to point out Ji So-yun and Melanie Lopez's influences, because I think the fact that Emma Hayes put them both in the double pivot, right, it made the team a little bit more defensive than they would have liked. Because I think Ji So-yun is one of the most versatile and one of the most, I think she's one of the best midfielders to have ever graced the women's game because of the fact that she can do so much stuff, right? She can do the little bit of defending that is needed. She can play incisive passes and everything. So when I take you through their stats, G and Melanie Lopez, you can see very clearly over here. Let me just bring it up. Yeah, so when you go to the passing, right, I'm just going to highlight Lopez and G here. When you look at the passing statistics, look at the numbers for G and Melanie Lopez. They've some of the highest numbers: 88% passing completion rate, 86.1 passing completion rate. They've got their long passes and short passes are also very, very accurate. They've completed, so Melanie Lopez 608 out of 740. That is, those are very good numbers. Similarly for G, 818 out of 972. So you can see how accurate their passes are, right, according to the statistics. And with G, the thing is, she likes to play the more riskier passes. Lopez, I think, is a little bit more defensive, or she's put in that role most of the time. But G is the roaming midfielder, so she's very good at what she does. Right, which was subdued a little bit in the Bayern game, which is why I also think Chelsea had a few problems there. But ultimately, I think the weaknesses that Chelsea have showed in the last couple of weeks have come because of the absence of two very, very vital players. And I mean, you guys probably know who I'm talking about, but we're gonna start with Magdalena Eriksson, who is the captain of the team, the leader of the team, the one who motivates her team to perform well and to get the job done. I think when you lose someone like that, right, it becomes very difficult for the team. It rattles the team a little bit. Also because I think Magdalena Eriksson is such a good player. She makes the defenders around her more calm and composed. You can look at Millie Bright as an example, or you can look at whoever's playing right back, if it's Neem Charles or Iona Anderson at left back. She makes players around her more calm and composed because she's such a leader on the pitch, right? And that's what Chelsea have been missing for the last couple of weeks, which is why they've also looked defensively vulnerable. But at the same time, I think the absence of Maren Mjelde, who was out for the rest of the season, unfortunately, with an injury, hope she recovers very soon. Maren Mjelde, the sort of experience, right, that she brings into this Chelsea side is so crucial. I feel like it goes unnoticed a lot of the time, but Maren Mjelde, what she does is absolutely brilliant. So I think that she also takes penalties for them, right? She's so good at taking penalties. So I think the experience and obviously the penalty taking skill has kind of become something that Chelsea have been missing. Although Harder has been taking penalties, it's something that they've missed. So I think the absence of Magdalena Eriksson and Maren Mjelde has really made Chelsea a little bit more vulnerable, because I think when you put someone like Sophie Ingle as a makeshift centre back, I'm not saying she's a bad player or anything, but it obviously becomes difficult for someone who's naturally a CDM, right, to play in that role. So I think most of Chelsea's weaknesses have come because of the absence of Mjelde and Magdalena Eriksson in that team. However, having said that, when we talk about the second leg game that will happen against Bayern Munich, what can get Chelsea through is obviously if Emma Hayes comes up with a plan, but also the individual quality that they have in the side. Fran Kirby, Sam Kerr, and Pernilla Harder have been sensational throughout the season. They have provided numbers. Again, I'm going to share it on the screen. You can see the sort of numbers these two have, right? I'll just bring you to them. Yeah. So if you look at Sam Kerr, Fran Kirby, Sam Kerr has scored 21 goals in all competitions. Fran Kirby with 18, Pernilla Harder with 12. So most of the goal contributions have come from these three, and they're absolutely exceptional players because there's just something about Fran Kerr and Sam Kerr. Why did I say Fran Kerr? I guess that works too. But there's something about Fran Kirby and Sam Kerr because the chemistry between them is solid, and because I think both of them know exactly when the ball is going to be played, and they're so calm at finishing off their chances as well, which is why they have these numbers. You look at Sam Kerr, she scores one goal or 1.02 goals per 90 minutes, which is a goal a game. That is an insane statistic. Similarly for Fran Kirby, 0.90 goals every game and assists, 1.50 goals plus assists every 90 minutes. That is possibly some of the best numbers you'll ever find in football. Though and Harder I think a little bit more subdued because of her role, but again I think she's just very good with what she does, and again someone who can take penalties, set pieces, and everything always helps the team. So when you look at these three, you just think that they have the capability to cause so much mayhem in the second leg, especially because Chelsea are playing at home also. And it's going to be very good from Chelsea. I'm expecting them to go through. They have the precious away goal also. They should be riding on it. And I am expecting Chelsea that way to go through in this tie, right? So that's the UWCL part of it. And, like I said before in the video, if they do make it to the final, I do expect Chelsea to go on to win it. It'll be a very difficult final because PSG and Barcelona are very good. But yeah, it's going to be... I think Chelsea will have enough. One-off ties, they'll be very good. So we've talked about the 4 competitions. We've talked about the Conti Cup, Chelsea having won that already. The WSL being wrapped up mostly. FA Cup we'll see in the future, but I think they should be fine. And finally the UWCL. And can Chelsea women make history by winning the quadruple? Thank you guys, that's the end of the video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think will happen in the second leg, and whether or not Chelsea women can go on to win the historic quadruple and make it 5 with the Community Shield. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Once again, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.